Hello friends, so we're still on the series on VSEPR theory, but for this particular lecture we are still going to talk about the VSEPR model, and here we are going to look at three molecular geometries. The first molecular geometry is the tetrahedral geometry, second one is trigonal pyramidal geometry, and of course the bent molecular geometries. Okay, so the first one again is tetrahedral geometry. In this particular molecular geometry, you have a VSEPR form of AX4 with a generic structure that you can see here. Here you have A centrally placed, and of course you have it bonded covalently to 3 atoms. Okay, so here you don't have any lone pair of electron present. Rather, you have 4 electron domains or 4 bonds that links the central atom to the terminal atoms. That's why it's called AX4. Here, what this means is that it has a coordination number or steric number of 4. So we have 4 things that are covalently bonded to the central atom without the presence of any lone pair of electron. Nice. So you can see this kind of molecular geometry in molecular species such as methane. Okay, you can as well see it in ammonium ions. Okay, so these molecules and many more are said to be tetrahedral in shape or tetrahedral in shape. Nice. So again, they are said to have 4 regions of electron density or electron domain around the centrally placed atoms. What we are trying to say here is that again, we have 4 bonds linking the central atom to the terminal atoms without any lone pair of electron. So we can as well decide to rewrite this VSEPR format of AX4 in an expanded form, factoring in the presence or absence of lone pairs of electron. We write it as AX4 E0. All right. So what we are trying to say is that we have A centrally placed, we have 4 things covalently bonded, all right, to the central atom, where E represents lone pair of electron and naught means there is 0 or no lone pair of electron on the molecules with this particular geometry. All right, so beautiful. So AX4 can as well be written as AX4 E0 as a VSEPR format of tetrahedral molecules. Beautiful. Nice. So the 2 examples we mentioned is methane and ammonium ion. Okay, so remember, when we're talking about the VSEPR theory as what we use to determine the molecular geometry, recall we are looking at molecules in 3 dimensions. One of the limitations, again, of Lewis structures is that it looks at molecules just in 2 dimensions. But because we are talking about the shapes of molecules, we are interested in the geometry. We are interested in the different bond angles that the bonds will make, okay? Bonds make within the molecule. So we're going to, because of the 3-dimensional shape of molecules, we're going to bring in 2 important kind of bonds, covalent bonds. The first one is known as, or what we call wedge bonds. The first one is known as solid wedge. That looks like what you have here, solid wedge, okay? And then you have broken or hashed wedge. If you watch, we have 4 bonds around carbon atom, but we have one that is shaded black, that is thick. We call it solid wedge bond. Then you have one that is like dotted lines. We call that broken or hashed wedge. All of these bonds, these 2 wedge bonds, are part of what will help us to appreciate the 3-dimensional nature of these molecules. Okay, so where the solid wedge is showing an electron group or a bond that is coming towards the viewer, all right, while the wedged, broken wedge or hashed wedge bond is showing the electron group that is receding or moving away from the viewer into, for instance, the paper or into the board, as you can see. While the other two unshaded or normal bonds represents the bonds on the plane of the board or the paper, as the case may be. So this is just to help us appreciate the three-dimensional nature of a given molecule. Again, you can see what we have here. This again represents, okay, the solid wedge, which represents the bond coming towards me, the viewer. Here again you have the hashed or broken head wedge bond, representing the bond moving away from the viewer, perhaps into the board, as you can see, where these two particular bonds represents the bond or bonds on the plane of the board, on the plane of the paper, as the case may be. All of these is just to show us the 3D dimensions of these molecules. Beautiful. So here, the bond angle that forms in a tetrahedral molecule is 109.5 degrees. All right. So if you look at it, the bond angle between this bond and this bond, 109 degrees. The bond angle between this bond and this bond is 109 degrees. The bond angle between this bond and this bond is 109 degrees. The bond angle between this bond and this bond is 109 degrees. All right. Because we are talking about what? We're talking about three-dimensional shapes. Because if we are looking at this in terms of 2 dimensions, what it would have been is that you say 360 divided by what? By 4 will give us 90. So had it been, it is like this, for instance, as we normally see in the Lewis structure, you will see that the angle, each of these angles should be what? A 90-degree angle. But this is in 2 dimensions. This would have been 90 degree, 90 degree, giving us 360 total. Okay, but this is not what it is. Okay, this is not what it is. That is why we are talking about this. Remember, there is repulsion between this electron domain and this electron domain, and this makes these bonds to slant. Okay, there is a repulsion between this bond and this bond. It makes the bond to slant. That is what the VSEPR theory tells us, that there is repulsion between electron domains. Okay, even though that the repulsion between a bond pair and a bond pair is not as strong as a repulsion between a lone pair and a bond pair. While repulsion between the lone pair and lone pair is the greatest and the highest. So the bond angles in tetrahedral molecules is 109.5 degrees. Whichever angle you look at, whichever side you look at, it means that the bond angle between this and this is 109. The bond angle here is 109.5 degrees as well. The bond angle here, if you look at it very well, is also 109.5. The bond angle here is also 109.5. The same way, the same thing goes for this. So, but apart from methane and ammonium ion, there are other molecular ions, okay, or molecular species that exhibit this tetrahedral shape or geometry. Example of that is the phosphate ion, PO43- ion, and of course the sulfate ion, SO42- ion. All of these, when you draw them, will show this kind of geometry with the bond angles of 109.5 degrees between each of the 4 bonds that you have there. Nice. So, other molecular species with 4 electron groups, once you begin to introduce a lone pair of electron or 2 lone pairs of electron in around the central atom, you are going to create more repulsion, all right, between the bonded pair and the lone pairs of electrons. So you are going to have a smaller bond angle, as the case may be. So in the next molecular geometry we're going to talk about, we are going to have, just like we have 4 things around the central atom, but here we have 4 bonded pair seats around the central atom. But in the next molecular geometry, we're going to begin to introduce a lone pair. We're still going to have 4 things around the central atom, but in this case now we are bringing in lone pair of electron. In another one, the Bent's molecular geometry, will double the lone pair of electrons, still 4 things around the central atom, and that will change the bond angle. All right, it makes, the more you add the lone pair of electron, the more there is repulsive interaction, the lesser the bond angle. So let's talk about, so as I just said, once you begin to bring in a lone pair of electron or 2 lone pairs of electron, okay, in a molecule that has a central atom, all right, with 2 atoms bonded to it, and you are now introducing 1 lone pair of electron, you're going to make a trigonal pyramidal geometry. If you have 4 things around the central atom and 2 of it are lone pairs, of course, you're going to make a bent molecule. So for the trigonal pyramidal geometry, here we have a VSEPR format of AX3E1. Of course, X3 here means we have A is the central atom with 3 things around the central atom, but E1 means we now have 1 lone pair of electron. So if you look at this and this, you discover they are the same. The only difference is that we have 4 electron pair. Electron pair makes a bond, electron pair makes a bond, electron pair makes a bond, electron pair makes a bond. So we have 4 bonds of 4 electron domain around the central atom, which is exactly what we also have here. The steric number or the coordination number is 4. How do you check it? You say 3 plus 1 gives us 4. All right? Beautiful. But the difference is that one of the electron domains here is a lone pair of electron. You see it? So, but here, all the electron domains are bonded pair. Okay? So, shared pair. But here we have, yes, it is the coordination, still have a coordination on number, steric number of 4. But one of the electron domains now is now a lone pair of electron. So here we are going to have more repulsive interaction between the lone pair and the bond. Okay, the repulsive interaction between the lone pair and bond is stronger than repulsive interaction between a bonded pair and a bonded pair. So these lone pair of electrons will exert more force on all these bonds. And as it's exerting more force or pull against this bond, it reduces the bond angle. The bond angle will no longer be up to what we have in the tetrahedral molecule. So example of an AX3E1 molecule is ammonia. Okay? So here is the Lewis structure of ammonia. But again, you can see closely that we have a slant, all right, because of the presence of this lone pair of electron, and the angle, because the repulsive interaction between a lone pair of electron and the bond pair is greater than when you have bond pair repulsive interaction. So we are going to have bond angles less than 109.5. As a matter of fact, the bond angle found in ammonia is 107. Okay, this is because we are having a lone pair of electrons which exerts more repulsive pull on the bond pair. So even though we have 1, 2, 3, 4 things around the central atom, which normally we have 109.5 degrees here, but the presence of this lone pair of electrons will exert more force, okay, on these bonds, okay. The lone pair of electrons will exert more repulsive pull on this bond, and they come while they are trying to move away from each other. The bond angle reduces, so you're not going to have a bond angle less than what we have for the tetrahedral molecule. In ammonia molecule, we have a bond angle of 107 degrees. Beautiful. So if one electron, lone pair of electron, can exert this kind of force, and we have a lower bond angle, it means that if we have 4 things around the central atom and we increase the lone pair to 2, we are going to even have more repulsive force and lesser bond angle created. This is what we are going to see in the bent geometry. In the bent geometry, we have a VSEPR form or format of AX2E2 with a generic structure, as you can see. So the difference between this and this now is that yes, we have 4 things around the central atom A. We have 2 atoms of X, and also we have now 2 lone pairs of electrons. So we still have 4 electron domains, but 2 of it are X atoms or atoms attached to the central atom. The other 2 is lone pairs of electrons. So if one lone pair of electron could exert this repulsive interaction, we're going to have more repulsive interaction here because the electron density for the lone pair has even increased. So we're going to have a greater pool. Therefore, the bond angles that we're going to have will be bond angle. We're going to have a bond angle or bond angles way lesser than what we have where we only have one lone pair of electron. And let it be in mind, have it in mind that we have 4 things around the central atom in the tetrahedral molecule. We have 4 things, 3 plus 1, around the central atom in the trigonal pyramidal. Again, for the bent molecule, we also have 4 things around the central atom. But because we have more electron density for the lone pairs, we're going to have the greatest repulsion, than we have for the other, the trigonal pyramidal molecules and of course tetrahedral molecules. Nice. So a typical example of the AX2E2 format of molecular geometry is seen in water molecule. Okay, it's seen in water molecule. For the sulfur dioxide molecule, it's still a bent molecule, but I will show you the difference between the water molecule and the sulfur dioxide molecule. So the first example of bent molecule is the water molecule. Water molecule, again, of course, has 2 lone pairs of electrons. But if you assess it critically, you see we have first thing around the central atom. Those 2 things around the central atom are hydrogen atoms. Okay, then we also have 1 lone pair and 2 lone. So we have 4 things around the central atom. 2 of it are lone pairs of electrons. So we're going to have even more repulsive interaction here than we have in the ammonia. Okay, and when in ammonia we have 107 degrees because of the presence of what? 1 lone pair of electron. That means if we double the lone pairs, we're going to have a bond angle less than this. As a matter of fact, in the water molecule, the bond angle, because these 2 lone pairs of electrons repel each other. As they are doing that, they are pushing more against this. Okay, therefore creating a bond angle lesser than 107 degrees. So in water molecule, we have a bond angle less than 107 degrees, which is approximately 104.5 degrees. Beautiful. So this is a bent shape or bent molecular geometry. Beautiful. Again, sulfur dioxide molecule, like I said, is also a bent molecule. But the difference here is that here we have 2 lone pairs of electrons and 2 atoms attached. So we have 4 things attached to the central atom. Okay, but here, if we look at it, we examine it closely. Remember, double bonds in VSEPR theory is treated as though they are 1 bond. So we have 1 electron domain here. We have second electron domain here. 2 things around the central atom. We also have an electron domain or electron cloud in form of lone pair. So we have 3 things around the central atom here. Let me make myself clear before I continue here. All right, so we have 3 things around the central atom, 2 bonded pairs and 1 lone pair. These 3 things around the central atom can be seen in trigonal planar molecules. Example is boron trifluoride. So in the boron trifluoride, recall we did it in the last video, you discover we have 3 bonds going out of the central atom into the 3 fluorine atoms, which are terminal atoms. And when you have 3 bonds going out of the central atom into a similar atom, we have an angle of 120 degrees, just like we have in an equilateral triangle, right? Beautiful. So since we have 3 things around the central atom, if they are all bonded pairs around the central atom, or if the 3 electron domain around the central atom are all bonded pairs, okay, or electron group, or bonded electron group, or electron pair, we're going to have an angle of 120. So the same way we have 3 things around the central atom, but instead of 3 of them all being bonded electron pair or shared pair, no, we have 2 bonded pair and 1 lone pair of electron. Remember, the presence of a lone pair of electrons will exert more repulsive interaction on these bonds, because those electrons will want to stay away from each other as possible. And because there is more repulsive interaction, the bond angle, because they are trying to run away, the bond angle will even be less than what you have when you have boron trifluoride. Do you see it? Three things covalently bonded to the central atom. Each of these bond angles will give us 120 degrees. The bond angle is 120 degrees. That's the point. Okay? But here, the presence of lone pair of electrons will exert more repulsion on this bond and this bond. So while they are trying to repel and stay far apart from each other, the bond angle they make will not be less than what you have here. Why? Because the repulsive interaction between bonded pair and bonded pair is less than repulsive interaction between lone pair and bonded pair. That is the rule of thumb. Okay? Beautiful. So at the end of the day, sulfur dioxide molecule has a bond angle less than 120, and as a matter of fact, we have a bond angle of 119 degrees when compared to trigonal planar molecules like boron trifluoride. Beautiful. So you can now see here that the VSEPR notation or format for sulfur dioxide, you see it, is what? AX2E1. So we have two bonded pair. Okay, oxygen atom is bonded to two oxygen atoms are bonded to sulfur. That's why sulfur is the central atom. X2 is oxygen, oxygen. E1 is this lone pair of electrons. So the VSEPR notation or format for sulfur dioxide is AS2E1 for sulfur dioxide, and for boron trifluoride, you have here, what do you have? You have AX3E0. That is, see it, central atom is boron, similar atom 1, 2, 3 fluorine attached to it without any lone pair of electron. All right, so again, just to cap it all up, we said that the rule of thumb here is that lone pair and lone pair interrepulsive interaction is the greatest and higher than lone pair bonded pair repulsive interaction, while the bonded pair is the least, has the least repulsive interaction. So in summary, for today's class, we looked at molecular geometries of molecular species that has what we call coordination number or steric number of 4. What we are trying to say is that they have 4 electron regions, or electron density regions, or electron domains around the central atom. And for the first example, as we have in the tetrahedral molecule, those 4 electron domains are electron pair domains. That's the electron that are shared and used to make single covalent bonds. All right. So in the second example of molecular geometry, we removed one of the shared pair and replaced it with a lone pair of electron. So we have 1, 2, 3 shared pair of electron. The fourth one is what? Replaced with a lone pair of electrons. So we're going to have more repulsive interaction and less bond angle. All right, and the more you are increasing the lone pair of electron, you are going to even have even most repulsion and of course the least bond angles, as you can see here in water molecule. Again, but it's not only molecules with the steric number of 4 like water molecule that makes a bent shape. We can also have molecules with coordination number of 3, such as sulfur dioxide. That is 3 things around the central atom, but is also a what? Is also a bent molecule. All right, and that is because of the presence of 1 lone pair of electron and 2 shared or bonded pair of electron. However, we're going to have an angle that is less than what we have had it been we had a molecule that had 3 bonded pairs around the central atom. Okay, so that is what we are talking about. So sometimes your examiner may wish to give you questions bearing the VSEPR format, and of course you already know the generic structures, and you should be able to tell examples of molecules or molecular species that exhibit any of these three geometries. In the next lecture, I'm going to go straight into talking about the molecular geometries exhibited by advanced molecules, because there are other molecular geometries apart from the linear geometry, the trigonal planar geometry that we mentioned in the last lecture, and today we mentioned three more, making it 5 molecular geometries. Today we mentioned the tetrahedral geometry, mentioned the trigonal pyramidal geometry, and we now mention the bent geometry. But in the next lecture, we are going to go straight into other kind of molecular geometries, especially those found in advanced molecules. Until the next time, stay safe, keep learning chemistry, and stay away from trouble. I remain your friend, Dr. Lutanna Okosili. Bye.